Welcome to Smart Business Show, and you got a funny angle today because of, I guess, really what I'm going to be talking about. I can't tell you what episode it is. I can't. Well, I guess I could tell you today. I think it's April 13th. So, right? Yeah, April 5th. I'm recording it. Tomorrow the 6th is already recorded, so it's next Friday. Anyway, we're going to be talking about having alternate plans because when I came in for my run, I powered up my computer like I normally would, and I hopped in the shower, and I went back over to my computer, and it had a crazy dead screen where Mac was just dead. I don't know. And I'm currently reinstalling it over here, and we're looking at my iPad, and we're working on it. And aside from the fact that I am working to make more and more of my work not iOS only, but iOS capable, that I can do it just as good on an iPad, and Thursdays generally falls into that anyways. But the problem a lot of businesses have, and the problem that I definitely formerly would have had, is that I would have no plan for how to accomplish all my Thursday work without my computer, which is sitting over there telling me it's 29 more minutes to install. I have all these nice screens and fancy keyboards and stuff that are totally unusable to me right now because the computer's not working, and I have no idea. I don't even know what data will be on my computer when it comes back up. Maybe nothing, maybe something. I'm actually not that worried about that part, though, because I have a clone drive, which will have everything on it, or it's in Dropbox, or it's in Git, or it's in some other place. So I'm not actually worried about the data on it. Anyway. But unfortunately, most businesses, what they have is they've got this ideal dream where they sit in their glass cube and they drink unicorn tears, right? Here's my cup of, not unicorn tears, this is coffee and coconut oil. Really good for you. But, they're drinking these unicorn tears and everything goes good and everything's dog friendly and it's, glass cubes and it's just beautiful. And unfortunately, that is not what happens. That is not what happens to many of us. That's not what happens to most of us. Right, I live in a townhouse. There's sometimes when I'm trying to record something and the garbage truck shows up outside. You'd think it shows up on the same day and I keep marking it, but I just have to move it every week, it seems. It shows up whenever it feels like. You think that I can come in and I can just hop right in and do work, and I can't because my computer's dead, and I don't know why, right? Or yesterday when I was trying to render out my new book on analog productivity in Kindle format, I said, it's not working, and I waited, a couple minutes a few times for Scrivener to render, and it just wasn't working for, I don't even know what reason. And then I got frustrated, and I went and took a break for a second, and I should have taken this break right away an hour earlier, because when I came back, 10 minutes later, it was dead. So what happened? What was the problem? Oh, my computer's just being really freaking slow. That was the problem with it. It's not that it didn't work, it's just that it was really slow. And now, luckily, knowing that no matter how many times I do this in Scrivener, it always takes longer than I expect to get the book looking right in PDF, in EPUB, and in Mobi files. It always takes longer than I expect. So I blocked out 3 hours to do this thing that I've done lots of times that should work, that I, format even how I write my books. I format and adjust the section so it fits into what I know. And while I find the solutions faster this time to my problems, I still had problems, right? When my footnotes were coming out like as monster things that were taking up whole pages, I said, I don't want that. So I adjusted it, and now my footnotes look fine, but I was able to find that quickly only because I've done it. So today I want to encourage you to have a plan, to have an alternate, right? As I look at more iOS only, I was looking at, I need to dig into this further. I am already a Vim user, so I'm set up that way, but I can SSH into my DigitalOcean droplet and just code right on the server there. And what will that take? What will I need to do for that for my client staging sites? And I can be right on their staging site working on it. What will it mean as far as testing though, right? So what type of iOS browser inspection do I have? Because I'm doing some front-end stuff still, so I need to have browser inspection and see what selectors I have. What will that mean? What will I have to do for it? Will I have to go multi-pad, right? Have 2 iPads, which seems a little ludicrous, really. That might be a nicer iPad Pro, and then a one of the new education models would be the secondary one, maybe. I don't know. That's just spitballing that here. But I could definitely SSH into my DigitalOcean droplet or into a VPS somewhere for a client and code directly on that as my staging site. So just going straight to staging. And I could do that, and that is totally viable. So that's something probably that I need to investigate, because one thing that I'm supposed to do in a few hours is work on a client site once I've got all my content ready for the day. And will that client site be up? Will I have to reinstall it? And I can do that. I know how to do it. It won't, it's not going to be figuring out how do we reinstall this. But it'll still take time, right? So it takes time to suck Vagrant down, to spin up a server again, to get the client content down. All these things take time. Time that lots of times you don't expect to need to have, right? Just in this ideal world of unicorn tears and fairies and all this other stuff, I'm just going to get to work. Everything's going to work the first time. Even this week it didn't happen. I had an issue with technical issue with a plugin called CMB2. Nothing with them, but I was trying to do something, let's just call it out of the box. And I was really close. And when I sent it off to the developer said, "Oh, that's super close. And that's a really cool idea. I never thought about doing it like that." And he said he sent me back the answer. And, well, he extorted it. He's a friend, so we'll say he extorted it nicely from me and said, "But contribute it where everyone can see it, so that I don't have to answer this question again." And I said, "That's fine. I'll do that." I was going to blog about it anyway, so I didn't have to look it up again. But that, that was like a morning. I spent like an hour like hacking away at this, saying, "Why isn't this working? It should work. It looks like it should be working. I see everything coming through. As I do all inspection and step through code, it's all coming through where I expect. It's just not actually saving to the database." So when he gave me that information, or he gave me the code to help make that work, and because he understands the internals of that plugin better than I do, because he works on it all the time. So what is your plan? What are your alternate solutions? If your computer died today, what would you do? Right? If my computer my computer is absolutely dead as a door now, I got a couple options. I've got a Mac Mini downstairs, which is older and slower than this, and not portable, which portability, whatever. But I've got that downstairs, and I have a full clone backup here that I could use. I'm not even sure if I do that though, because I don't need to, because again, all my photos are synchronized off onto a separate drive. I can just suck all those photos back over. They're synchronized every day, so it's not that big a deal, and they're all actually through Dropbox. I think the worst it would be is they're 3 days old, and they're all through Dropbox anyways. So I could go dig them out, or they're all in iCloud anyways. I could go dig the ones that I missed out. All of my other stuff is off in iCloud or in Dropbox or on some server somewhere. So as far as a physical object, it sucks if it's dead, but my other alternate would be to, I guess, fully make the plunge and say, I'm just not doing any work that I can't do on my iPad, and just make that choice entirely and just do everything off my 9.7-inch iPad, which would be a slightly less than ideal, but that would be an interesting constraint to try and work in my business. It's nice that I've got my EPUB and Mobi and everything else, all those files out in iCloud already, so they're already ready to go, and I can upload and adjust descriptions and stuff. So that's it today. Have a plan, come up with some sort of disaster plan, right? I also run a clone drive every weekend that actually sits downstairs, so I can go get that. And I run Backblaze on that computer, so it's all backed up all the time in many ways. All of this stuff is backed up multiple ways on my iPad as well. It's all heading into iCloud or into Dropbox or into something else. That's it. And so I have a plan, a very long drawn-out strategy. I always figure at this state where, we lose all of iCloud and we lose all of Dropbox and Backblaze is dead, and we've probably lost, most of a couple countries, and we probably don't care about a lot of this stuff anymore. That's the best I can do. So build your plan, write it down, and start to see how it's going to work. And maybe even test out, what would I do if I couldn't use my computer for the day? And I've been doing that for a while, where last Thursday I didn't take my computer at all. I did everything on my iPad for the whole day, and it worked just fine. I did tailor my tasks. I didn't have any coding tasks, so that would be another piece to add to it. But, I'm already in Vim, so I can just hop right into a server and be fine. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the episode, whichever episode it is. I'd love a review in iTunes, or, a star if you're in Overcast, or a rating, and whatever you see it as. I'd love to see that. It helps people find the show, and it helps me out a lot, so I'd love the help. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. Ciao.